especially for the speaker for tonight. They has already spared their time to sharing to us about the educational session for tonight. So in this session for tonight, first the speaker will give us the feedback from the every table topic participant later on. In this session will be held by our master of ceremony for tonight. So without further ado, let us welcome our MC for tonight, Toastmaster Haryanto. The time and screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, our beloved President, Toastmaster Arvin Wijaya. So good evening, my fellow Toastmaster and other guests. Welcome to Polonia Toastmaster Club. As you can see from the agenda, we're going to have a special education workshop with the theme off the cuff and on your feet. So before we start the workshop, I'd like to ask you questions. Maybe, what if the workshop is about? And this workshop, maybe we are going to talk about, we're going to handle how to answer difficulties questions or challenging questions or impromptu questions. So I believe that all of you ever had these difficulties. But don't worry, because we've invited a special speaker who is going to give some tips how to handle those impromptu questions. So who is our special speaker for tonight? So let me introduce her for you first. Born in Brunei, she was a scholarship recipient to the University of Kent for a Bachelor of Law. In England, she represented her university in various debating competitions across the United Kingdom. Most notably, the Bailey Gifford Oxford Women's Open 2015. A Toastmaster for 8 years. Her highest achievement was attaining second place in the Toastmaster District 91 South UK International Speed Contest 2015. She now spent her days as a copywriter and her night as the Division E Director for District 87. So everyone, please help me with a very big virtual applause to our special speaker tonight. She is no other than Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. So for Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling, the screen and times is yours.
Wow. Thank you very much to our MC Haryanto. What an interesting opening. I can't believe that you can make me sound so good. Ladies and gentlemen, I just like to give a disclaimer that I'm not usually that well renowned. So thank you very much, Haryanto, for making me sound good. I want to bring you to all my events now. So I'm just going to quickly share my slides. All right, everyone can see that all right? Excellent. I will now move on. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we're going to be talking about off your cuff and on your feet. No one likes being caught off guard. No one. Is that true? Someone once asked me, what makes you feel confident, Ling Ling? And the only thing I could think of was being prepared. And table topics in Toastmasters is the complete opposite of being prepared. It's just about being put on the spot as you can. So tonight's workshop is going to try its best to combat that kind of unprepared feeling that you get from table topics. Now, this workshop is meant for those who are relatively new to Toastmasters. So for the more experienced Toastmaster in here tonight, some of the things you're going to hear about, you might have heard before, but I hope that you might just learn a thing or two along the way as we go on. All right, ladies and gents, what exactly are we so scared about when it comes to public speaking? Sure. I think it's because it's such a new and unknown situation. When you are put into a place where you don't know anyone, you don't know what's about to happen, you're caught off guard, it's so stressful because our minds come up with 1,000,001 different scenarios about what's going to happen, and our brain just can't take that kind of overload. So when it happens, we get so terrified and then we don't know what to say. Another reason why we're so scared, we're scared of failure. What if we mess up? What if we give the wrong answer? What if we cause some sort of inconvenience to the listeners? What if we disappoint them? What if we're wasting their time? These are the kind of feelings that we get because we're so insecure of answering that question. And lastly, and I think this is one that I'm scared of the most. I'm scared of looking bad. What happens if this question is asked by my boss and I really want to impress them and I just end up looking really dumb and it affects my promotion? You know, these things happen, and the possibility of embarrassment can cause fear and panic in the person, especially if, for example, you're a new member and you've got people in the audience that you don't want to look bad in front of. Maybe Pak Herman's in the audience and he's my crush and I want him to think that I'm still pretty and cute, but I'm gonna say the wrong thing and he's gonna think that I'm really dumb instead. So little things like that can make us feel really uncomfortable about speaking in front of an audience. But hey, I believe that anything we do, we can always get better at. So how do we get better at impromptu speaking? Number one, experience, of course. The more you do it, the better you get. So you got to fight fire with fire. The more table topics you do, the better you're gonna get at it. It's as simple as that, and also as difficult as that. Yeah. Repeatedly speaking in public reduces fear, helps you build confidence. So you really got to try your best to put yourself out there and practice and practice and practice. This is the only way you're going to get better. But also, when we want to be better at speaking in front of an audience, number one thing that we want to do is just loosen up. We got to relax. Because the more tense we are out there, the more the audience can feel us being tense. And it's not going to be a pleasant experience for them or for us. So, when you get up there, just try your best and be aware. Are your muscles so tensed up? Are you feeling like you're holding it in? You want to focus on breathing evenly and calmly and just let go of some of that tension so it doesn't affect you when you go out and speak. And lastly, and I know I did say, because for me, the more you prepare, the more confident you get. And there are ways of preparing, even when it comes to impromptu speaking. When you know the techniques, tactics, and tips for speaking on your feet, when you're aware of what kind of tools you can use and pull out of your pocket, then it just becomes a matter of what kind of strategies can I pull out in which situation when you go out and speak. So just keep these in mind, and I think you won't find it so scary anymore. All right, let's move on to the tips I'm going to share. In this workshop, I'll be talking about 12 kind of techniques to help you get the hang of speaking off the cuff and on your feet. Now, 12 is a lot of things to remember, especially in that split second when you go on stage. But most of these things are things you probably already know and already are using in your daily lives. So it's with a hope that with more experience and practice and relaxation and preparation, that these techniques will come more naturally in time. So let's start off with the first one, and that is to simply listen. Now, what I mean by this, when you listen, you want to try and pick out keywords in a topic. So I think sometimes we get a topic that's about like 20 or 30 words long. It's really hard to catch, especially when you're already panicking. So what you want to try to do is pick out keywords. If the person talks about trust or respect, if the person talks about your favorite hobby, you just pick out the word hobby. So when you start latching onto these keywords, suddenly you don't have to worry about understanding the whole sentence or whole topic. All you have to do is pick up the things you can understand and just go off on a tangent from there. And these keywords can make or break the things that you have to say, because to the audience perspective, it doesn't matter if you actually answer the question, but as long as you sort of get the gist of the message or the topic, then you're technically sort of still on topic. Next up is when you concentrate carefully, you can actually incorporate part of the topic into your reply, or you can comment directly on those keywords so that your response can refer to the question. And lastly, you can use the question in your answer. I know that sounds a bit contradictory, but for example, if you agree to what the person is saying, you can demonstrate your attention by reinforcing what the person has said. If you disagree, this is also an opportunity for you to tactfully demonstrate your originality or your critical thinking. So this is some ways you can sort of show that you're engaging with the topic and inadvertently with the audience's perception of you as well. Next up, you want to focus. Keep your focus. Don't think of something else while the topic is being mentioned. Because I have a, oh dear. Hi, Suharju. You might want to keep yourself on mute right there. Oh, thank you very much. All right. And next topic, what you want to do is focus when you're listening. Because sometimes what happens is that you're so busy being nervous that you miss what the person is saying, or you're not putting your 100% attention on the topic itself. So what you want to do is just don't go off topic, stick to the essentials, and don't give on into the urge to speak about something that's not about the keywords. Next up is just concentrate on speaking. What I know this seems a bit weird, but what I mean is don't think about how nervous you are. Don't overanalyze what your body is doing. Don't try to think about 101 things about what will go wrong, but just focus on speaking. And lastly, remember what you're trying to say. Emphasize your main points throughout your speech and try not to add in little bits and pieces out of nowhere, because you want to answer the topic directly and not talk about what your day was about. Don't try and go off on a preamble or add on things that aren't about the topic at all. All right, next up is simply to pause. This is something that a lot of people forget when they go up there. You want to pause before you saying anything. You want to pause when you go in between your sentences. You want to pause when you're in between words, because the more you pause, the more you can organize your thoughts, and the more time you have to get your next word or next sentence ready. Pausing also helps your audience to understand. It gives you time to assess your audience, let them absorb your message, also let you sort of look at them in the eye or in the screen and think about, do you realize whether they're understanding what you're saying? For now, if I pause, I look at the screen right now and I see my audience and I look and see, are they looking confused? In which case, maybe I should slow down. Are they looking engaged? In which case, I've got them and I could continue on. And lastly, and a great speech technique is to pause for drama. Give impact, add suspense, try to allay confusion. When you're about to lay home a really strong point, you pause and then you say it. And that's when people can really feel inside what you're trying to say. All right. Next up are some additional techniques. These are what techniques that I use personally whenever I'm feeling stuck or when I want to give more impact to my message. Number one is to think about the actual message. Every time we go up on stage, normally we hear the question and we go off immediately. And I think I want everyone to just think about their message for a bit. Begin with an end in mind. Before you even start, you want to know how you're going to end. You want to know what kind of message you want everyone to remember. And I think this is a technique that a lot of people misunderstand, because when you think about message, I mean one message. Because when you have 1 to 2 minutes, you really want to think about only one thing to talk about. If you want to share about 2, 3, 4, 5 messages or points, people might get lost. And that's when you might get in trouble, because for example, if you're competing in the table topics, then you might lose out on trying to get people on your side, because if you only have 2 or 3 minutes 1 to 2 minutes for them to get what you're trying to say. Next is to think about the details of which you're saying. So by details, this is a quick technique that I like to use whenever I'm stuck, whenever I don't know what to say, whenever I think, oh no, I've lost my train of thought. I go back to one simple technique, and that's the 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, when, where, how, why. And I especially like to emphasize on the whys and hows. If someone asks me, what's my favorite vacation spot? And I say Bali, and people ask me, and I go, oh no, okay, why Bali? I love Bali because it's got beautiful beaches. And I think how Bali, how I'm going to enjoy Bali. Oh, I want to go out to their beach, get my bikini on, make sure that I'm summer ready, and maybe enjoy a nice drink in hand. So when I go into the details about my speech, suddenly I have a whole lot of things to say. And suddenly it's not so scary when I getting to the end of the 2 minutes of the table topics. And another thing I like to think about is my audience. How can I make this relevant to the people I'm speaking to? If I'm talking about Bali, I can end this in a few ways to make it relevant to my audience. I could end it by persuading people to come with me on my next trip. The Bali is so fun. If you think I'm making it sound so good, why don't you come with me on my next trip? So suddenly it becomes something that involves the audience. Or I could also talk about how Bali inspires me as a person. So every time I go to Bali, it soothes my soul. And I never know what kind of revelations do I get when I get there. So ladies and gentlemen, what soothes your soul? For me, it's Bali, but for you, it could be a good, relaxing book. It could be a nice movie. So you start to inspire thought in your audience. So always, always, always try to involve your audience into your speech. Because that way, you give your audience something to take back. Because why are you speaking if it's not to give someone something to take back? So that's something that I personally use, these 3 techniques: my message, my details, and my audience. But sometimes, if you want to try some more advanced techniques, there are also some easy outlines you can use to organize your thoughts. So here are some simple structures that are actually in the Toastmasters impromptu speaking manual. When table topics are only 1 to 2 minutes, you don't want to talk about too many things. So that's why having some outline or structure will help you get everything put together neatly and nicely so people can extract your information easier. The first and foremost is to share an opinion. When you get a topic and you're thinking, how am I going to tackle this? You think about what you think about. What's your personal experience? What are your personal thoughts about this? And you want to break down that opinion into its components. If someone asks me, what motivates me? So I break it down to its components. Like I said, the details, who, what, when, where, how, why. And I pick one. So I answer the question and I say, why does it motivate me? And I'll pick up 3 things. So what motivates me? Spite. Nothing gets me going more than knowing that I'm going to make someone really upset if I achieve this. Why? Because I live off the blood of my enemies. So you go on a tangent on this and suddenly you've got 101 things to say. And then you want to be able to compartmentalize this onto only 3 things instead of that 101 things, so that people at the end of it are left in no doubt what motivates you. Next up is the problem and cause, or problem and solution. So these are mutually exclusive. So for example, if you are given a storytelling topic, and I personally really hate these because I'm not a very imaginative person. I can tell jokes. Jokes are funny, but I cannot make up stories on the spot because it's so difficult. So someone gives you a topic. Your house is flooded. There's no one else but you. The water is slowly rising. What do you do? So what do you do? So you have a problem right there. Your house is flooding. You can either talk about the cause, you can talk about the solution. And I think what happens here is that you can talk about what is causing the flooding. oh no, I'm sitting on the stool. I'm watching the water get higher and higher. What's happening? Oh, it's the monsoon season. The rain has not been letting up this whole time. And I think there's a blockage outside my house. It's the water department and the road department. They've been so terrible at doing their job. They know that the rainy season is coming. So why hasn't anyone been doing maintenance? So you go off on a tangent. Or you can talk about the problem solution. Oh man, I'm stuck right here, right now. There's no one in my house. How am I going to get out of this situation? Off the corner of my eye, I spy a piece of rope. You know what? I can climb on that rope and I'm going to get onto the first story and I can hunker down there. I think my mom likes to eat and she has some snacks in the room. And I think that's going to keep me going until tomorrow. And then hopefully someone's going to notice that I'm still alone here. In the morning, I'm going to climb up to my roof and hopefully someone from the public works department can see me over when they climb over on a helicopter when they're looking for survivors. And then I can be saved. So that's something that you can do when it comes to a problem cause and problem solution technique to answering a question, especially one of those pesky storytelling ones. Next up is a timeline, especially when you're giving a storytelling technique one, or if you're given one of those question ones. For example, what's your favorite childhood memory? And what happens is when you're given a timeline like that, you can only talk about your favorite childhood memory, but because you want to throw it back to the audience, you can link it back to your present and your future. So my favorite childhood memory, I used to love playing with my friends. I used to like this game called Chongkak, where it's a bunch of little stones and it's got a little bit of maths come in. But I realized that as I grow older and older that, it's really difficult to find friends to play with. And as I grow older, friends, instead of playing with friends, it becomes going out with friends. And no one's actually prepared to talk about how difficult it is to make friends when you hit your 20s and 30s and 40s. Suddenly, the moments with your friends become more and more precious. And you learn to keep hold of the friendships you have. And I hope that in the future, I get to make more and more friends, because what are we in Toastmasters if not friends now? So I implore you, ladies and gentlemen, next time, please extend a hand in friendship to the people around you. And please extend a hand to me, because I would love to be your friend. Thank you very much. So past, present, future, always tie it back to what you're doing now, as well as what you hope to achieve in the future. And suddenly you have a whole lot of things more to talk about. All right, everyone. That's all more or less I have to say. So I'm going to end with a couple of reminders to when you go out there. These aren't really techniques, but things to just sort of keep in mind and think about. So that when you go out there, you don't feel that table topics are so scary anymore. And then impromptu speaking becomes something that becomes more natural to you. First off is try to instill that confidence in you. You know that fake it till you make it thing? It's a little bit of something like that. You can't really come out there and say, I'm confident and just be confident, but you can sort of borrow that confidence from all that preparation and technique. So just remind yourself that pausing is okay. You just remind yourself you can actually repeat the questions if you need to, just so to remind yourself what the key points are. And just remind yourself that, hey, it's okay. We've got all these tools in your pocket. It's all about just picking them out one by one, and then you'll be okay with all the things you have in your arsenal. And the second one is to be brief. I don't mean that in the fact that you answer the question and it's okay, but it's just sort of remind yourself that it's very easy to stray off topic, and start repeating the things you're saying. Or it's very easy to add new points, or it's very easy to go back and backtrack and repeat things all over again. So what you need to do is just to stick to your main points and be sure that whatever you're saying, you're going to reach that message at the end. Because when you begin with an end in mind, you have a message, you have your audience, and you suddenly have a goal to reach towards. When you get out of your head and you just remember that you're not speaking for yourself, you're speaking for an audience. Suddenly, when you have a goal and objective, it becomes easier to have a very coherent thought and message. And lastly, it's just to remember to be sincere. When you sort of are true to yourself, you don't try to be bombastic unless you really want to, then that's the style you're going for. But you don't try to be someone you're not. You don't try to, copy off a speaker that you are really admire. Just try and be yourself. Just try and be sincere and honest and thoughtful. And I'm sure that whatever you're saying, the audience is gonna take to heart, and that they're gonna believe that this is you, and they're gonna listen to you. So that's all I have to say. Just be confident, be brief, be sincere. At the end of the day, table topics isn't so scary after all. You're out there, and then table topics is an opportunity for you to practice and learn, and for people to listen to you and get to know you. So at the end of the day, these are opportunities that you have to cherish and take to heart, because I don't know how often is your meeting. Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's once every 2 weeks. But Toastmasters is a place for us to learn and sort of take in all the learnings and practice what we have learned. So hopefully the next time you go on the table topics, you'll be able to remember all these 12 things and make it a more enjoyable experience for you. All right, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening. I'll now open the floor to some Q&As. If you have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and have at it, or you can just type it in the chat box for those of you who are a little bit shy. All right. By the way, we'll have a little table topic session after this, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope to hear some of you utilize the things that have gone on in this workshop, and hopefully, we'll be able to see that new confidence in you. Any questions? Going once. Okay. Nirmala, yep. There are no questions. Everyone here is like super confident. They know what they're doing. I'm just talking to myself for the past 25 minutes,
I think we have a question from Jericho in the chat.
Okay, how do I break a statement and replace with an argument? Okay, statement. Okay, so for example, someone gives a quote, right? And I know that, table topics love quotes. So one of my favorite quotes is, I am a part of all I have met, by William Wordsworth. I think it's Wordsworth. So I am a part of all I have met. It means that every person I meet becomes a part of me in the end. And then you can say, that's not true. And you think about why that's not true. And you think about how if I'm a part of someone I've met, then what happens to my own individuality? Because I believe I'm my own person. There are some traits that I developed by myself, and it's not from someone else. So it's a little bit about trying to pick faults. If you're gonna use an argumentative approach with a topic, you pick faults with the topic. You think about why that topic is wrong. You hate that topic. It's wrong. I don't like you. I'm gonna tell you why it's wrong. So suddenly, you suddenly make it into a whole argument with yourself, with the topic, with a table topic master. I hate you. That topic is dumb. So you go ahead, and suddenly 2 minutes will fly by just really quickly. All right. So thank you very Jericho with your question. Is that what you meant to ask, or do you have more? Or
No. It is like what I'm expecting about.
Oh, thanks. I hope I'm glad to hear that. All right. Does anyone other than Jericho have something they'd like to ask? It's okay, you don't. If you don't, it means we've got more time for table topics later. There's like 33 of us here. If everyone speaks for 2 minutes, that's like 1 hour easily.
Yes, Toastmaster Lai Ling, I would like to ask, it's very nice what you have described about the theory, but can you tell me, or can you tell us exactly how can we manage our emotion when we stand in front of the audience here? Is there any strategy or what do you say, like the best theory, how you manage your emotional when you face in front of the audience? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aidil. For me personally, because whenever I get a table topics question, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who will start thinking about like a bazillion things at once about how it's gonna go wrong, and I'm gonna get so nervous because I'm gonna look so dumb. And then what I personally find helpful for myself is trying to look at it as a kind of goal. You know, when I go up there, I think I focus on the question itself. I sort of get out of my head and be like, okay, don't think about how nervous I am. Don't think about how everyone's looking at me. Don't think about how I'm gonna make myself look dumb. Think about the question. The person had just mentioned something about depression. You know, if they're going to talk about depression, what kind of experiences do I have that relates to that? So suddenly all the nervousness in my head goes away because I'm no longer thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the question. So it helps me because I'm one of those, it's like work, you know. When you get a task, your boss gives you a task, you don't really think about how, oh, what if it goes wrong? What if I don't complete this on time? What if I don't meet the deadline? What if we lose money? So instead of thinking about all the things that can go wrong, I'll focus on the task that my boss gives me. Does that make sense? Because that's how I think personally, and I hope that helps you as well, Idol.
Yeah, does it mean that you don't even see the face of the audience because you are just focused on the question and you are focused on how you answer the question? So you don't even see closely or seriously the face of every single person in front of you. Is it what you mean?
For me personally, yeah. So when I focus on the question itself, I tend not to look at the audience faces until I get going. Because in the beginning, things are very nervous, yeah. Your heart's pounding, you know, you're sweating. You don't want the faces to distract you. But once you start getting comfortable, nearing maybe like the first 15 to 20 seconds, that's when, because you already know what you're going to talk about, you stop being nervous because suddenly you've got a whole thing, like you've got your topic and you've got a task and you've got a goal. So that's when you can finally let loose and start to look at people, like people's face will slowly come into focus. So that's my own personal technique. If there's anyone in the audience who'd like to share their own experience about trying to get rid of that nervousness, please do share, because I'm pretty sure that my experience might not be the same as everyone else. But to answer your question, I I ignore everyone. I focus on the question, and then later on, slowly remember them and get to make eye contact. Because people don't remember the eye contact in the first 10 seconds, but they'll remember it near the end.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. What does Toastmaster look like? Sorry, Jericho, do you mind clarifying this question? I don't want to misinterpret this. What does the Toastmaster look like? It looks like me. Okay. Okay, Jericho, if you're, I think Jericho's not really there right now, so I'm going to move on to table topic.
Hello.
Do we need to? Okay, Jericho, there you are. Jericho, do you mind explaining to me what do you mean by that question?
No, I don't understand and I don't got it. Why does this meeting is called as Toastmaster International, and that is what I'm looking about.
I see. Oh, Jericho, am I right in assuming that you're not a member of this organization? So Toastmaster International is a place where people come to sort of learn and practice their communication and leadership skills. We do this in a series of doing speeches and roles. So the more we do, we learn things such as how to MC, how do we give feedback to someone gently, how do we go out there and do presentations in front of a live audience. We even learn the little things like how do we become an audience, how do we listen properly, or how do we have interpersonal communication, like how do we talk to people outside of the stage. So these are what you're attending now is a workshop that's done by a member of this organization. And most of the people here are members of that organization. So thank you very much, Jericho, for coming today. I hope I didn't confuse you with talks of table topic. Yeah, it's just what we call an impromptu speech.
Oh, I got it.
All right, thank you, Jericho. I'll move on to, I think we've got 2 more, and then we will move on to the table topics where everyone gets to practice. So To says, do we need to have introduction, how many points, and conclusion? Now, this is a bit of a tricky topic because a lot of people have different perspectives of what do you mean by an introduction. So with a table topic, because you only have 1 to 2 minutes, an introduction can't be too long. So in my perspective, it's just like 10 to 20 seconds max. And it can be anything as, okay, this is a topic, I'm going to talk about 1, 2, 3. Or you open with a statement, or you open with a quick story. That doesn't go more than 20 seconds. So how many points and conclusion? Conclusion, you definitely have to have one. If you don't have an introduction, at the very least, you will need a conclusion. And it's okay. It's not too bad, I think, to come up with a conclusion, because it's basically a summary of everything you've said, if you're at a lack of what to say, or it's the message that you've already thought of and you want to repeat at the very end. As for points, something you want to consider is not too many. You need to have at least one point, but you can't have more than, I would say 3 is the most. And even that's a bit pushing it, because if you break down 2 minutes and you divide it with a 30-second conclusion, that leaves you with 1.5 minutes. And maybe you want to have a 20-second introduction, and that leaves you only 1 minute odd for you to talk about 3 points. So when you break out things like that, you suddenly realize, oh, 20 seconds isn't a lot of time to talk about 1 point. And you really need to start prioritizing what you want to talk about. So in conclusion, I'd say no more than 3 points. No more, and that's stretching it. 3 points is the max I would go personally. I hope that answers your question, To. All right, last one is Aaron. Hello, Miss. Ooh, I missed. Thank you, Aaron. All right, I want to ask, I'm often silenced when in the middle of the speech. What can I improve? I think to go back to what I previously said is to be keenly aware that you only have 2 minutes. Really utilize your pauses, especially if the moment you get the topic, really do take some time to think about how you're going to approach a topic, what you're going to say, how you're going to end it. And try to make sure you focus and don't go off topic. Normally, what happens when you run out of time is because you've possibly spent too long on one section, or perhaps you've been going around in circles, or perhaps you've been talking about things that are outside of your point. When that happens, suddenly you take up more time than you're supposed to. And before you know it, you've run out of time and you haven't gone out to achieve what you set out to achieve. So Aaron, I wish you all the best to your table topic. And I hope you give it a shot later. Maybe we'll see you being on time this time, or at least being closer to being on time. All right, Jericho.
So much,
Okay. No problem, Aaron. I think table topic master, put Aaron there, yeah? All right, I know I said Aaron was gonna be last, but Jericho just dropped one on us. So we're gonna take that one before we move on to table topics, okay, ladies and gents? What is the best way to arrange your speech in such a short preparation? I think going back to the 3 structures I said before, you want to share an opinion. So you want to either talk about your own personal experience with a story, or you want to agree or disagree with the topic. That's what we mean by opinion. Or secondly, you want to talk about a problem cause, problem solution. So suddenly it's in 2 bits. Or thirdly, you want to talk about a past, present, future timeline. So these are just 3 quick ways to arrange yourself. But other than that, it's to use the age-old, introduction, point, conclusion. And I think when you arrange things like this, you don't have to worry about too much. All you have to do is worry about the points you're going to say and just insert it accordingly. All right, that's all the time you have, because I want to hear the table topics. Ladies and gents, we've got 10 slots right here. So please drop in your names and take them up before they're all filled up, because you don't want to miss this opportunity. You know why? Because we're also going to be evaluating the people who come up to speak. So if you want some quick tips on how to improve just based on one quick table topic, then please put in your names, and you might see some improvement soon, hopefully. I don't know, maybe, hopefully. All right, I'll now pass the floor to our host. Can we please invite our MC Herianto to the stage?
So, okay, thank you. Such a wonderful session from our guest speaker, Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. Everyone, please give a virtual applause one more time to our guest speaker tonight. So we've got a very great tips and tricks how to handle table topics. So like what she said just now, you can write down your name if you want to participate in the table topic sessions later. So there are 10 slots. You can write your name on the Zoom chat list, everyone. And then, but before we go to the table topic sessions, so I'm going to have the photo sessions first. So can I call Cindy? Cindy, can you help me to lead the photo session for this workshop?
Sure. Okay, everyone, please open your camera. We'll have photo shoot.
Okay, Cindy. Okay, everyone, would you like to open your canvas? So we're going to have a photo session.
All right, everyone, please open your camera. We'll have a photo shoot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next. One more. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Cindy. So we're going to have 5-minute break before we go to the next session. It's going to table topic sessions. But before that, for those who want to voluntarily participate in table topic sessions, you can write down your name, okay? So we're going to have 5 minutes break first.
The table topic speakers, I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left. Each table topic speaker will have 1 to 2 minutes of speaking time. So when I show this green background, as you can see, my virtual background, this green background, it means that you've already spoken for 1 minute. So if I show you yellow background, it's already 1 minute, 30 seconds. And for red, it means already 2 minutes. After this, you should wrap up your speech within the next 30 seconds. Remember that. Those who speak within 1 minute and 2 minutes, 30 seconds will qualify to be voted as the favorite table topic speakers. So good luck, and that's it. Back to you, MC Herianto.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Natasha, as our timer. So everyone, are you ready for the table topic sessions? Because this table topic session is going to be special because you're going to be evaluated by our speaker, Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. So let's see. I think that we have already around 9 speakers, and I think that the 40 speakers to fill the speaker later on. I think that we can point you later on. So everyone, are you ready for the table topic sessions? So these table topic sessions will be led by someone who is very special also. She's my best friend, and also she's my mentor. So everyone, please help me with a big round of applause to our table topic master tonight, Toastmaster Catherine Tanoto. For Toastmaster Catherine Tanoto, the screen and time is yours.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Herianto, for the great introduction. You know how much I have so much friendship with you. So today's topic is, it deals with our common experiences, so you don't have to worry, and you can definitely utilize what we have learned from the great workshop earlier, from the whole briefing that we have got. We have learned so much about what we can do to try to be confident. So today's topic really deal with our everyday life. And so the theme that I picked today is everyone has a story to tell. So it's not something so difficult, because I believe that the best idea to connect with anyone is to share your stories. And I believe that every human being has good or bad story, any events that come with people, friends, and co-workers. So with any of these topics, just get comfortable. It's as if you are in a cafe and you can just share your story with us here. And I'm so excited to listen to any of what you are going to say. Now, I'm going to go through the list. The first one, okay, that I would like to call is Michael Aaron. Michael?
Yes. Hello.
Michael, all right. So it's been a while. How are you?
I'm still alive.
I know, I can see. So there are 14 stories here, and with your choice,
Right, okay.
which number you would like to pick?
Okay, I'll go for lucky 13 then.
Lucky 13. Interesting. Let's talk about your first love.
Oh God, that is so unlucky.
13. Okay, so the time is yours, Michael.
Right, first love, okay. Okay, I guess I'm ready. Right, many people talk about first love as in many different ways, yeah. Some people say the first love is usually about love in first sight, but for mine, my first love was actually more about it was more about love in first sight, actually. So the story goes on like this. I was introduced to this girl. She was, you know, Medan being a small town, was introduced to it was my mother's friend's daughter. You know how it is. People would introduce, people try to matchmake and all that. And yeah, everything was going all right. It's not too bad, connected. But again, things didn't really work out. So we parted ways. So the lesson that I just want to share with you all about first love is, everything that we do in our first time might not work out as well, and we just have to be able to pick up ourselves and hold our head high and just go on to the next journey. So yeah, that's pretty much it about my first love. It's not very exciting, but it's definitely something that we all can learn about. If it doesn't work, move on, and don't get stuck in the past. So that's pretty much the lesson that I wanted to share with you all. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for listening to my story.
Thank you very much. And I think that's beautiful, because I think we all fall in love at some point in our life, and even our first one probably didn't work out, but it's great that we always see the value in it and just move on rather than being stuck in the past.
Yes, I agree. We don't want to be stuck in the past. And you know what? If things works out first time, something is wrong.
That's great.
Yeah.
True.
All right,
Okay.
I'll give it back to you, Catherine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. for sharing. Now I'm going to go through the second from the list. Okay, we have Melissa. Melissa, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Okay, are you ready for your story to be shared?
Yes.
Yes,
Must be
okay.
ready.
You can choose any number except for 13.
I will choose number 8.
Number 8, okay. Number 8, you have the time you felt pressure. So this pressure can be any pressure from peers, friends, and social work pressure. So any pressure, you can share it with us here, your frustration. Okay? Time is yours, Melissa.
Last year, I worked for a local securities company. At first, we had 10 persons in one division, which is investment banking division. But as the time being, 1, 2, 3, 4 left our company. And then the remaining were only 3 persons, including our head of department. But last year, we got one project from our group, internal group. But as you know, since it was from our group, so that the pressure was really, really high. You can imagine that the head would not do administrative work. So the person who did it, only 2 of us. But the most ridiculous thing was my head was very, very demanding at the time. He already knew that we only had 2 persons. 2 persons were working on that project. But I don't know why he kept pressuring us. He kept asking us, when will you finish that part? When will you continue this? When will you continue this? And so on and so on. At that time, I really, really got pressured. I was mad and I didn't know what I have to do. But at the time, luckily, I got the chance to have a reflection, to think of it. So I took one step backward, think of it, and then I can calm down myself so that, yeah, I can finish it with no pressure, with no failure. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Toastmaster Melissa. I think that you are a very patient person, and I think we all sometimes have to work with demanding boss, feeling like it's kind of toxic for the boss to keep badgering us with deadlines, but it's really great that you could do something about it, that you could calm yourself in that situation. Thank you so much for sharing, Toastmaster Melissa. Now, next we have, from the list, we have Toastmaster Aswin. Toastmaster Aswin. Okay, so could you please pick any number? Except for 8 and 13.
Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6, we have very classic topic. Who is your role model? Role model.
Talking about role model, yeah, thank you. Talking about role model is someone who we admire. Yeah, if I think about it, my role model is my mom, my mother. Why? She is patient. Yeah. She does not show her feelings so easily. Like even though we make so much problem, so much trouble, he still can stay calm. Yeah, I do admire that one, and I try to be like that all the time, because when he stays calm like that, I feel that it's okay, it's okay. You still can manage it. You still have another chance to correct it. So that's how I feel if I see her calm when I make problem. And from that, I think it's good if I can have the character also in mind. Like, so in during my work, I have to deal with many people, and it is possible that they also make mistakes. Instead of yelling them what not to do, I think it's better just coaching them. Yeah, coach them and make them feel the problem so they can buy in, so they can have their own ideas how to solve the problem. I think, and because they buy in, the solution will remain and we can maintain the results. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. What a great role model your mother is, and the way you talk about her, we can definitely envision how composed she is as a person, even in the face of the very challenging situations, and that could motivate us to be that composed and calm as well in the situation. Great, thank you very much, Toastmaster Aswin. Now I have a few people on the list as well. Let me just go through it one more time. Toastmaster, okay, now we have a guest, Jericho. Jericho, are you ready, Jericho?
Yes.
All right. Which story, which number did you pick?
Number 10.
Number 10. All right. Number 10. Okay,
Yes.
you have to share
I'm picking
an
number 10.
embarrassing incident. An embarrassing incident is an event that made you feel awkward or make you feel very embarrassed. Okay, so time is yours. Toastmaster.
Let's start. Okay.
Yes, Jericho. Yeah, an
Yeah.
embarrassing incident.
The most embarrassing event that I ever did in my life is when the first time for me to participate in a competition. When that time I was asked to go to a stage and demonstrate some activities. Maybe I will not mention it because I'm quite trauma till now. Yeah, and when that time I have managed to practice it every day, and I am really confident before I go to the stage that I will going to win that competition. Not only that, without any shy on, without any worries, I am critics to the people who perform before I perform. I mean, when I'm still watching on it. But when the time it's my role to perform, hello, see lah.
Hello.
Hello, okay.
I can hear you fine. Yeah, okay.
Connection problem. I forgot what should I do, and I just stand at the stage and do nothing. That's make me really shy, and until now I'm still imagine on that situation. When in home, my parents just angry to me, and my parents say, if you don't manage to do anything, it is better for you to not join. And it makes me to learn how to be more confident, even though like this time, I don't know what should I say, but I'm trying to do my best. And yeah, I think that this can be learned. And this failure is really dumb. I think really dumb, even though I don't know why it makes me really scared until now. Even though Okay. I'm still. Okay, that's all my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing, Jericho. I think you did brilliantly well for now. And I think we all sometimes have to make mistakes and we learn a lot from our mistakes. So you don't have to worry. And especially in platforms like Toastmasters, it's okay to keep making mistakes, even if we get stopped. And there are many speakers I know personally that couldn't speak on the stage before and suddenly they won championship. So one of them is our Toastmaster Rudy Susanto at Polonia. And I remember him being stopping in the middle of his speech, but then he became one of the champions in the division contest. So I think that was something that reminded me of that, and any past mistakes would be something that we can learn from. Thank you for sharing, Jericho. Next, we have on the list, Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hello, Miss.
Hello. So I'm glad that you take this opportunity. So I'm going to ask you to choose any topic. So we have, 4. So after your turn, I would like to invite Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling to give evaluation on the 5 people, and then we will continue after. So Toastmaster, Aaron, choose any number.
I would like to choose the second story.
The second one, all right.
Yeah.
A special day that made you very happy. Okay, special day that made you very happy. All right, time is yours.
I think everyone of us have a special day. For example, get a promotion, or you had a huge investment on your company, and many else again, like getting a present from someone who you love. And my special day for me is the day when I get a huge capital gain at a company. What the name is? Astra International. I have researched this company for 2 weeks, 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and I believe that this company is the price of the stock is gonna go up, and I put all my money on to buy that stocks, Astra stocks. But there is one quote that I learned from, I think many business lecturers or teachers said that don't put all basket in one bags. But I think this is a bit a mistake, because for me, if you don't put all your eggs in one bag, that means you not trust on your bag, on your ability, on your research. And I do my research about Astra, and yes, my research is right, and I got a huge profit. I think it is around 30 to 20%, and that's all, Miss. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, congratulations on making the right survey and research, and in the end earn a lot. You are very young, but you are very aware how to deal with your financial, your income and everything. That's amazing to know. So we have had 5 speakers. We have the first one, Michael Aaron, then Melissa, Edwin, Jericho, Aaron. I would like to invite Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling to give short evaluations for all of them. Then I will move on to the next 5. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much, Catherine. And congratulations to our first 5 speaker. You've put yourself out there. And I was really, really impressed with the way some of you spoke. We first started with Michael Aaron, and we ended with Aaron as well. So, we came full circle. So starting with Michael Aaron, your first love. Oh, I do love a love story. It was so romantic. I was like blushing and giggling the whole time. I really appreciated how Michael Aaron took the advice to heart, and he inserted a message at the end of his speech. So it really added an extra layer to the speech, because suddenly as an audience, I was totally invested in the story and its ending, as well as what Michael learned at the end. If I have any recommendations to Aaron, I would say to be aware of where you're pausing. I know I did say in the workshop that pausing is so important because it can give you a lot of leeway in what the audience is thinking and give you time to think. But at the same time, if you pause in not strategic locations, you might be influencing the audience with the wrong emotions. So Michael, I noticed that at certain times, the pauses were in the middle of words or in the middle of sentences. So it causes some tension. I'm not sure that if that was your intention, but I sure felt it. I mean, like I felt so at the edge of my seats, like I felt so much anticipation. So that was what I felt during Michael Aaron's speech. But nonetheless, good job, and I hope to hear more from you in the future. Oh, there he is. He knew what he was doing. I can tell from his face now. All right, moving on to the second speaker, we have Melissa Chen, the time she felt pressure. So Melissa utilized a couple of storytelling techniques. I really liked how detailed she was actually. She told us how she felt, what happened. She built this whole world around her, and she brought us into her situation with so many descriptions and explanations. So we were right there along with Melissa the more she went into her story. So Melissa, if I have any recommendations for Melissa, I just wish the ending could be just a little bit longer. I would have liked it if Melissa could have explored what she learned from that entire experience, because she felt the pressure, and she ended it right at the conclusion of how she resolved the issue. But I would have liked to hear, did she learn anything from it? What did she feel at the end of it? Was she able to apply what she learned in the future? So a little bit of food for thought for us to feel some kind of closure from the entire story. So that's my feedback from Melissa. Our third speaker was Aswin Young, who talked about his role model. I thought Aswin was very authentic. I could tell that his mother meant so much for him. And it was just so heartfelt, it made me really want to run downstairs and just hug my mother, even though I think she would think I'm a bit crazy. But in any case, Asmin, thank you so much for just sharing that little piece of your soul with us. And I'm sure your mother would be proud. I wish she was here to hear that as well. I bet she would feel really happy to hear everything that you just said. Now, something that I did notice is that I could feel Aswin thinking as he was speaking. So Aswin, a tip for you is just to take some time after receiving the topic to really formulate your thoughts and structure what you're going to say, because you don't want to run the risk of thinking while still trying to come up with what you say. What happens is that thoughts become maybe not as coherent as they could be, or maybe they could be a little bit slower and could drag out the attention a bit much as well. So that's something that you can try considering next time, just pausing a little bit, gathering your thoughts, and then coming forward what you have to say. And I believe when you do that, your thoughts will come a bit more smoother as well. Next up, our fourth speaker was Jericho, who talked about an embarrassing situation. Now, Jericho, it really takes a lot of bravery and courage to take up a table topic for the first time. I'm sure that a lot of us Toastmasters here, we remember what our first time was like. I want to forget it, but I can't. It's just so bad. So I think it was just such an honest thing for Jericho to do, to open up about his fears, his faults, his feelings. And I really want to commend him for doing that. And I just want to point out how put together his speech was as well. It was surprisingly structured for something that something that was supposedly coming from someone who was inexperienced. So I would like to say kudos to Jericho. If I have any more recommendation, is to come back to Toastmasters more, do more speeches, practice a little bit more. I'm sure that once you do that, you'll be able to find out what your style is, what your preference in speaking is. And then, you wouldn't be bogged down by little things about feeling self-conscious about not wanting to share a story, because then you find ways around it the more you practice. Lastly, we have Aaron talking about his special day. First off, congratulations, Aaron. I mean, that is some achievement right there. And I really enjoyed the way Aaron shared his story with us. Very much like Melissa, he had a couple of storytelling techniques where he brought us into his world. Not so much in the setting of it, but he really shared his feelings and the anticipation of building up what was about to happen. So I was at the edge of my seat with every word that he spoke. So if I have any recommendation for Aaron, you already have a message. I wish you had ended with it, because you like Melissa, you ended right at the conclusion of your story. But I would have wished you to go back and link it to your message, because your message was, do your research, do your preparation, make sure you understand what you're doing. That way, your risk will pay off with a reward. So once you tie it back, suddenly your audience not only remembers your message, but they also reminded back to what the story was about, and they wouldn't be forgetting you anytime soon. So these are all our 5 speakers for now. We have another 6 more to go. So congratulations to Michael Aaron, Melissa Chen, Aswin Yang, Jericho, and Aaron. And I look forward to the next 6 speakers. Back to you, Catherine.
Wow, what a thorough elaboration within the short time. Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. Now I will continue with our next speaker. We have Kathleen. Kathleen, are you here? Kathleen?
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Kathleen.
Yes,
Been a while. How have you
Yeah.
been?
I'm good.
Nice
Yeah,
to
it's
see you
been a
here.
while.
So
I'm glad
which
to be
number?
here as well. All right.
You can choose the ones in blue, okay?
Okay.
I think the slide doesn't show up on my side. I'm not sure that Kathleen can see it as well.
Yes, it doesn't show up in my screen as well.
Yeah, maybe you can unshare and then share another time. Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right, so I'll do it one more time. Sorry. Can you see it now, Kathleen?
Yes, I can.
All right.
I'll be choosing number 7, the lucky 7.
Number 7. Okay. All right. My memorable childhood. Okay.
Memorable childhood.
All right. Time is yours, Toastmaster Kathleen.
Okay. All right. One thing about being child is, you remember that is the most rebellious time of a person, of the human's life phases, I guess. The thing is when I was a child, I just really rebellious. I was being so rebellious. When parents really force the kids to take a nap in the afternoon, children just really like to play. At that time, just like any other child, I also love playing. I just want to play together with my neighbors, together with my cousins. And there will be a time when my parents or my uncle or my grandmother will just force us to sleep. Hey, okay, time's up. It's time to take a nap. Like when you're at that moment, when you're really at the peak of the fun things, the fun part of playing together, and they just suddenly ask us to end it and take a nap. At that time, I was being so grumpy, and I would pretend to sleep until they leave the room. And then I would just open my eyes and ask my cousins, hey, have you really slept? You just want to play a game? And that's how the story goes. One thing is, when I grow adult, I just realized taking nap is really such a nice thing to do, and it's really a rare pleasure that you can enjoy. I just wish I take lots of nap when I was a child. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think that was definitely a memorable childhood. It's filled with acts of mischief. We all have gone through that period of time. Thank you for sharing. Now, next we have Jason. Toastmaster Jason, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Jason. Okay,
Hello.
so you've got a few numbers here, the ones in blue, you can choose.
Yeah, I'll take number 4.
Number 4, okay. It's a time you made friends in an unusual situation. Okay, it's like a chance encounter. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
Time
I
is
got it.
yours.
Okay. You know, I've just graduated from high school. Yay, graduation. I'm finally free from that hell because high school was very bad for me. And unfortunately, because of COVID, I kind of missed studying for 2 years. I just kind of did nothing and play games all day. So all the knowledge that I was supposed to learn in those 2 years was just blank and gone from my mind. I didn't have anything. And when the last exam was coming, I was straight up panicking, but also calm. I have like a really weird situation where am I going to die tomorrow? How's the exam? And I just, no, I can do it. Maybe I'll just look left and right or do something like that. And, you know, after the first exam, yeah, I did pretty well. And I met a girl outside the school, and she was talking with another guy who was like saying, you know, this question was blah 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 blah, and that exact question was on my mind at that point, and I was like, oh yeah, is the answer D? And I suddenly just butt in between them. I don't know them at all, and they suddenly, oh yeah, the answer was blah 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 blah, and we just kept going and going through all the questions and on the next day, I met that girl again, and we kept going through the question again over and over until almost the last day of the exam. Basically, I just realized that girl was sitting in front of me. I didn't realize I was in the same exam class with her until the last day, and the girl supposedly already know. Huh? When I met her, I just like, huh? How are you in front of me? And what, you don't know? And she just said something like that. And at that point, we just like clicked again, and we just kept talking up until the end of the exam. And that was a moment that, well, I realized I kind of make friends very easily. So that was one encounter, vivid encounter, and that's for my story. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a hilarious one. And it was a chance encounter over exam questions. So exam seems to make you both become closer. All right. So next we have Clarissa. Clarissa, are you here? Clarissa,
yes,
all
I'm
right.
here.
Hello, Clarissa.
Hi.
Okay, you can choose any number in blue.
I think I'll go for number 5.
Number 5, all right. Number 5, the story you can share is about a positive change in your life, how you used to be and how you are, anything positive. All right, time is yours.
Well, a positive change in my life, maybe in studying, because I haven't did much in my life other than studying. So I used to not study. I used to don't care about my grades and whatever that is. But what's really funny, how this changed is because of a friend. When I was in grade 3, I had a best friend, and we are going to grade 4. But in grade 4, there's this plus class or merit class and non-merit class. So my best friend went to the merit class and I went to the non-merit class. And I really wanted to be in the same class as my best friend. So my best friend told me that then you should study, to be in a merit class, because merit class somehow happened to be the special class. It just got a lot of teachers love this class so much, and it got a lot of rewards and anything else. So yeah, because of that, I studied harder, and I pay more attention to my grades, and that how it changes. And now I am also still studying very hard, and I think that's all.
All right, thank you very much, Clarissa, for sharing. I think that's a great positive one to get into the challenge to go for the class that is supposedly with better merits and rewards, more attention and all. So great job there, I think. Now we will move on to Pak Herman. Toastmaster Herman, okay?
Herman Hadilukito from Bali.
It's not complete without listening to Pak Herman's story. All right, which number?
I choose number 9.
Number 9, all right. Okay, how you relax after you have been busy?
Describe way to relax after you have been busy.
What do you do for relaxing? Do you do sports? Maybe walk in the park? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Actually, there are so many things that I can makes myself relaxing. But for now on, I choose to have a coffee for relaxing. Because coffee I got, if I'm drinking coffee, I got some things feelings in my mind that really makes me satisfied and forget a while what are my burden. And that is why now for almost every day I don't forget to drink coffee in the afternoon. If I have a time, I go to my friend to the cafe. And if I don't have time, I just drinking coffee at home and put a little milk inside the coffee, and also join with the Zoom sometime. Besides watching the program or the seminar or something, I drink coffee. Okay, back to our smart TTM, Catherine Tanoto.
Thank you for the tips of how to relax. I also agree. I always can't function, I think, without coffee. But yeah, I agree with you. Coffee and surprisingly entering a lot of Zoom by Herman, so that's amazing. All right, now we have Jaslyn. Jaslyn, are you here?
Yes, miss.
It's great to see you here, Jess. I think Jaslyn's video has a bit of a trouble.
Yes. I'm so sorry because I think my camera is not working.
Sure, no problem. I can see that you try to turn it on. Okay, Des, which number?
Maybe story number 1.
Number 1.
Yes.
All right. Number 1 is about your favorite place. It can be anywhere, okay? It can be your room, anywhere. My favorite place.
Okay. So I believe everyone has their own favorite place to relax at, or to, I don't know, like to do anything they want to. So for me, my favorite place is usually inside a theater. I don't know why, I just enjoy the ambience there. I really love the way they design the theater. Like you can just watch the movie, and then because the sound is quite loud, so sometimes I can even cry inside the theater because I just I cannot cry in other places other than theater because people can see me. So I think I can probably somehow enjoy my own quality time inside a theater. And well, actually, I think maybe this sounds weird because people don't usually go to the theater to, I think, I don't know, to cry, or yeah, I don't know, I just find it quite weird. And I think, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jaslyn, for sharing. I think we all have our own personal and safe spot to do anything that we want to do without judgment. And in your case, you chose a theater. I think that's heartfelt, and thank you for sharing. Now, Toastmaster Ideal.
Yes.
Ideal. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So this is probably the last one because I just got reminded that I have 5 minutes left. So Ideal. Now let's see which number.
Okay. Well, not many left. I think I'll choose number 3.
Number 3. All right. Number 3, we have the time you learned a life lesson.
The time you learn a life lesson.
Okay.
Okay. What can I say? Yeah. See, on the journey of my life, yeah, we learn a lot of things. Yeah. Since we are in the elementary school, high school, and university, and postgraduate. Yeah. And then when we jump into work world, yeah, we have learned a lot of things. One thing that I'm very sure about what we have to do, and we always get the insight, is we have to be nice to everybody that we meet and we talk to. Yeah, that's a thing that I really believe that when you appreciate someone, you've got to be friendly and nice to them. Whatever the situation is, when you are friendly and be nice to someone, we have a good experience. Yeah, we get something pleasant. Yeah, and it is nice to step up in the way you communicate with someone. I think that's what the best thing that I learned from the life. Yeah, that's all from me, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. This is a valuable lesson that we all learn, especially because we are here learning communication skills. I think we all have to learn to be nice and kind, and so that's easier for us to connect with anyone. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ideal. Now we have 6 people and apparently we have time. So even though earlier in the schedule we had evaluation after, but we have incorporated that within. So I have enough time to call another 3 later. So anyone who wants to, you can add yourself in the list or I will call you. So I'm going to pass this to Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling for 6 evaluations, starting from, just a reminder, from Kathleen. Kathleen, Jason, Clarissa, Herman, Michael, Aaron. Sorry, no more Michael, Herman, Jaslyn, and Ideal. All right.
All right, thank you very much, Catherine. Well, I mean, we thank you, Catherine. We're gonna start with Kathleen. All right, Kathleen talked about her memorable childhood, and I just want to say, Kathleen speaks with such enthusiasm. When she smiled, I smiled, and then she was just such a bubbly personality. It really brightens up my day when I heard her speak. Kathleen, for a budding speaker like you, I will give you one tip, and that's just to focus. I could feel that as you were speaking, you got a little bit distracted, not just by a little bit of outside influence, but also I thought you were a little bit distracted by what's going on up here, because I could feel you thinking while you're trying to speak at the same time. I think that's why you had to start and stop and restart your sentences a couple of times, because you were saying, hang on, that's not exactly what I want to say. I need to rewind. So I could feel that thought process going on. So I would just ask you, the next time you try this, perhaps just to take a deep breath, focus, and try not to let yourself get distracted by everything going outside or inside here. So that's my tip for you, Kathleen. Next up is Jason. Whoa, Jason, what a character. Jason came on and he was off like a cannon. I was just sitting here staring in awe because he was just like a rapid fire machine gun. And I could just really feel that energy. I was just 100% the whole time. Jason, by any chance, are you related to Suharjo? Well, let me tell you something. I mean, Suharjo is a brilliant speaker, just as long as you can learn how to channel that energy. One tip, Jason, pause. Just pause. There were so many instances where I thought, hang on, this guy is funny, but I could barely absorb the joke. and then you've already moved on off into the distance, onto your next sentence. So that's my tip for you. Just pause. If not for yourself, for us, the audience, let us breathe before you move on. So that's my advice to you, Jason. Next up is Clarissa. Clarissa, a positive experience. Clarissa had this fantastic storyline came on. It was almost like this character development arc. It was almost as if I was watching this movie happening. Something was happy and good, and then suddenly, poof, the magic was lost. Two people were separated, and then someone, the mentor comes in and say, if you want this, you need to try hard, and she did, and then there was an ending. If I've got any tip for Clarissa, is that I felt everything was very task oriented. There was a lot of focus on what happened, what was going on. I would have loved to hear more about what was being felt. How do you feel? Because what I learned when joining Toastmasters is that there is a logical side of the brain, but there's also an emotional side of the brain. So as a speaker, you want to try and engage both sides. So as you talk about what happened, you want to insert about how you feel, how you think everyone was feeling. That way, the audience can be more immersed in the story, not just in what was happening, but what was being felt by everyone. Right. So that's my tip for you, Clarissa. Something to try out next time. All right, coming up next was Pak Herman.
Adil looking
Herman. How are you doing, buddy? Okay, Pak Herman, this is my evaluation. We talk later. I like how Pak Herman actually used the 5 W's and 1 H. He was like, how he drinks his coffee, why he drinks coffee, when he drinks it, where he drinks it. It was so detailed and such an immersive experience. I can almost taste the coffee. I'm not even a coffee person. I don't even like coffee, but Pak Herman made me want to drink coffee. So if I have any observation, Pak Herman, is that you tend to get carried away, I think, with your speech. I think at some point it wasn't about relaxing anymore. It was just about 100% about coffee. So I have any recommendation is just bring it back to the start. Remind us that the speech is supposed to be about relaxation. So tell us about how something about how that is how I relax. So maybe you want to try out coffee, or maybe ask the audience about how they relax. So something just to give us a conclusion about all that coffee talk. Next time, me and you, Pak Herman, we're going to have a coffee amongst ourselves, yeah?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, I think, is Jesslyn, her favorite place in the cinema. I thought that was just such a calming speech. I think Jesslyn has this aura about her. Take it down, take it slow, just relax. And I really like that kind of vibe. Especially after Pak Herman's speech, when it was all about coffee and there was a lot of energy there. And I think that's the power of a speaker, how someone is able to just with a few words transport you to a different place and location. I could almost feel like I was there with Jesselyn at the cinema. If I have anything to say to Jesselyn, it's just maybe take a page out of Pak Herman's book and use the 5 W's and 1 H. Because I realized at the end you were sort of struggling about what to say and what to add into your speech. So I would just say, try to think about why you like it, how it brings such peace to you in the cinema, just so you can have some more ideas about what to add on and how to end your speech instead of just leaving it as is and then abruptly ending it like that. All right. And lastly, our 6th speaker was Aidil, favorite person. Aidil, you strike me as such a thoughtful speaker. When you speak, I think it's with meaning, it's with intention, it's with purpose. And it's really difficult to find that kind of introspection that comes with a speaker. I think I sort of understand now why you asked me those questions about how to get out of your head. I feel like I probably gave you the wrong advice because I don't believe that's the kind of feedback you needed at that point, because I felt like you were mostly in your head. So I think I would definitely say my advice to you is think about ways on how you're going to engage the audience. Because a lot of the times I think you were so much in your head that you sort of forgot that the audience is here listening to you. So I would just say maybe every now and then when you're talking about a sentence, throw it back to the audience, maybe some of you have felt this way before, or I'm sure some of us might have similar experiences, just to include them into your speech and feel the moment with you. So that's something maybe you can try out for your next speech. All right. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us, Aidil.
Okay. I would like to say something, Lai Ling.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
we
sure,
have
sure.
time? Yeah, okay. When you speak, when we speak in front of the public or we present in front of the audience, yeah, you said that before on your last explanation that we have to be focused on our on the question and on our script or on our topic. But on my experience, I don't know this is right or wrong. On my experience, that actually at the first step you have to do is how you can get close with the audience and how the situation melt with the audience and you be very close and you have become friendly and you're getting close with the audience, then everything just become very easy. That's what I experienced. I don't know. Is that kind of panic is good or not? But that's the first thing we have to set up at the beginning. That's from me, Toastmaster Lai Ling. Thank you.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Aidil. And I sort of agree to a certain extent because, public speaking has so many layers to it. I mean, this is how I personally approach it. So normally I would normally I would start with trying to forget anything but the topic, try to figure out what I want to say, and then I'll find a way to relate it back to the audience. So for me, that's the second step, but for you, that's the first step, yeah? Audience first and then the topic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So different strokes for different folks. For anyone here who's listening, there's no right or wrong way to do this.
Yeah.
I think in the end, whatever is the most comfortable for you, as long as it brings the result. So if someone has given you feedback before that perhaps you're not engaging enough with the audience, so you want to find a way on how you take whatever style you already have and try to insert bits of the audience in there. For someone like me who naturally engages with the audience, a lot of feedback I have is that I don't have a lot of content in my speech, or I tend to go off tangent. So that's why my priority would be to try and bring more of the topic into what I want to say. So I think the core is you have to start with knowing what are your strengths and what you can improve in. And that's why Toastmaster is such a great platform, because we have an evaluator dedicated to letting you know. Because when you're speaking, you don't know what's going on. You're so focused on trying to get through it that you're not sure what are people thinking about you. So that's why it's so important to have an evaluator come in and tell you, hey, this is my opinion and my perspective on what happened. And this is what I think you can do. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone. Thank you very much, Aidil, for sharing some of your thoughts. I think someone in the audience might have needed to hear that. Yeah. So sometimes, you don't have to listen to me. There's a lot of people out there with lots of opinions you can learn from. So thank you so much, Aidil. And thank you to everyone who attempted. I'll now pass the floor back to our table topics master. Over to you.
Thank you so much. We definitely learned a lot from the evaluations and also the discussions earlier. Now I will move on. We have 3 more. So let's maximize our learning today. We have Natasha. Natasha, are you here? Okay, you can choose the number. We have 11, 12, 14 left.
Okay, I'll choose number 12.
Number 12, all right. Number 12 is, okay, unexpected act of kindness that you received. Okay, so an act of kindness that you received, but you didn't actually expect that at all.
Okay, thank you. So the unexpected kindness that I've got is more recently happened to me. Actually, in my life, I've never been gotten a scholarship or achievement that's so big in my life. So this is my first time. And the kindness is the organization that gave me an opportunity to get a scholarship. And that means a lot to me. In my life, I was like never even imagined that I will be getting this scholarship ever. And when I was like applied it, I just like talk in my heart from my heart, and also I gave my reasons on why I can get that and why I deserve to get the scholarship. But I've never imagined in my life that I would get it. So I was kind of shocked, and it was unexpected for me. And also I thank God because I can get that really amazing miracle in my life, and also that scholarship, like including like a big massive prize that I ever get also in my life. So it's kind of shocking for me, and sometimes I feel like I don't deserve it, but here I am. And I also feel like grateful that I have gotten that, and I really hope that that kindness I can share with all people also. And I feel like, oh, this is this kind of happiness that people will get if we can help help others too. So I really hope that this kindness I can share also with other people, and that's really impactful also for everyone that I can help. So thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you so much for sharing, Natasha. I really love it, and congratulations on getting the scholarship. I think the most
Thank
deserving
you.
people always feel like they don't deserve, but in this case, I know that you deserve it. So pat yourself on the back and think that you well deserve the scholarship. Okay, now I will move on to another person. We have Toastmaster Tochi Leong. Oh, sorry. So give me a bit, sorry. So number 14, right?
Yes.
Number 14. Is that what the one that you chose?
Story
Okay.
14.
14 is an important decision in your life. So let's hear it from you. The decision that you find very, very important or probably life-changing.
An important decision in my life will change one person. So to me, I have made my life to go better. So I have do my distance learning. During my working time, I still pursue my first degree. So start from the bottom. To me, during my diploma time, my job as a technical assistant, but I try to make an important decision that I need to pursue my study through more of a distance learning. So with the 5-year learning process, I had to sacrifice my time, my family. Even though every year during the semester break, I had to go for the part-time. What I mean is during my service, those are full-time students, they will go back from the semester break, and then as myself as this one the officer, so we had to take leave, study leave, and then we go back to the university to pursue my first degree. So to me, as an important decision we have made, we need to continue. So as a conclusion, everybody have the ambition. So see you at the top. So in our life, we had to do important decisions so that the thing will get better. So to fulfill our this one transformation. Thank you.
Wow, that's a very inspirational because you talk about how definitely education is so important, and you share about your pursuit in education. And so obviously life is a constant learning process. It doesn't matter where we are at our stage of life, but we just keep pursuing and we learn a lot from the whole experience. Amazing. Thank you so much. Now we have one slot left, and I hate that the topic doesn't go anywhere. So probably I will just give random. Okay, I see. Okay, let me see who I see. Delix, are you there? Delix?
Yes, miss.
Let's go for it. Okay, let's go for it, Delix. Maybe with video on if you can. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming, Delix. So now we only have one topic left. It's story 11. So the question is, the time you felt fear. Okay, you can share about the time when you felt so afraid. Okay. All right, time is yours.
Actually, like there was a lot of time when I felt very afraid because of a lot of things, but there's something that I felt like really afraid, and it was actually like the first time when I watched horror movie with my friends. So actually, in the past I'm not really like to watch a lot of horror movies, but my friend asked me to watch it together with him, so I just kind of like agree with him, although I'm not really want to watch it. And he said that he wanted to watch Annabelle at that time, so I just said okay to him, and we directly go to the cinema and watch it. And actually, I know at that time that I was like a little scaredy, and I'm not very brave of watching a horror movie. So I just take my phone and put on my earphone and listen and open a song so that the sound of the ghost at the cinema will not be so horrifying. But actually, I was wrong, because actually the sound in the cinema is very loud, and I could hear it, and I was very afraid and scared at the same time, because like it's so cracking at that time. But because I think that I was watching it with my friends, so I was like, nothing. I can, if I'm afraid, like I can have people to accompany me, and my friend there also kind of like accompanied me and said to me not to be afraid. And after watching it for around like 1 to 2 hours, and finally the movie come to an end, and I directly went out of the cinema, and that was the time when I felt fear.
Thank you very much for sharing. And I know this is your first time in Toastmaster speaking, and that was amazing, because I remember watching Annabelle and I didn't like the experience as well. Even with you wearing earphones, the sound even pierced through. So it was definitely a nerve-wracking experience. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for everyone's participation. And we have 3 evaluation feedback for Natasha, Toastmaster Tochilong, and Dalix. I will pass this to Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling for the last part of the evaluation. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm signing off as a Table Topics Master.
Oh, everyone, can we give like Catherine a big round of virtual little claps? Because I think she did a fantastic job sourcing all those questions and just being able to facilitate that session. Because we wouldn't have such a fruitful session if it wasn't for her questions. All right. So now we'll move on to the final 3 evaluations of the night before we sign off, starting with Natasha and her unexpected kindness. First off, congratulations, Natasha. I could really feel Natasha's gratefulness for this opportunity, and it made me so happy for her. It made me forget it was speech as well. I felt like it was a conversation between two friends. And that's the power of emotions within a speech. When you reach a level where the emotions that you speak with are able to influence your audience, that's when you know that it's such a powerful tool to have. And that's what you want as a speaker, to be able to inspire people with just your words. For Natasha, I would advise, I think, with a speech like this, to use more of a timeline structure, because you were going on about your scholarship and how it made you feel. But that was all in the past. I mean, I, as an audience, I would want to hear what's happening now, what's happening to Natasha now, and what's going to happen in the future with her scholarship. So I think we as the audience definitely need more details to do with the story. So for Natasha, I think definitely think about using a timeline structure for your future speeches as well. All right, next up is To, an important decision. To, I have to say, very brave to choose number 14. But that said, I think unlucky number 14 became lucky number for To. You know, the impression I got from To was that he is such an expert in table topics already. Why are you here? This is for beginners. So yeah, To had structure, he had a message, he had storytelling skills. Every single step of the way, I was just thinking, oh gosh, that really happened to him. Oh my gosh. And he managed to flip that around to a learning experience for everyone. So that was so well done. If I have any observations from To's speech, is that I think there was quite a bit of brain power being used to translate from Mandarin going on. And I think that's why at times the expressions that on To's face didn't exactly quite match what he was saying, because he was like, I didn't see my son, I didn't see my wife, and then his smile was, he was still kind of smiling, and I was thinking like, no, To, that's a bad thing, don't smile. So I think that's something to be aware of, I think, the next time you're speaking, just to be able to make sure that whatever's going out here is matching whatever's coming out here. And that way it will be a more cohesive experience for the guests and members overall. Our last speaker rounding off the table topics tonight is Delix with the topic of fear. I find it really funny how cinemas are a source of peace for Jesselyn, but it's a source of fear for Delix. So you get all sorts, you know, in Toastmaster. And you know what? I could feel Delix's fear. I don't know if it was the nervousness, but Delix's voice was trembling and he was shaking a little bit. So I could feel that through the screen. Delix, something to think about for next time you want to try table topics is the structure. I think at some points you were sort of going around back and repeating a couple of the things you already said a few times. I don't know if you noticed it, but me as an audience, I was thinking, hang on, didn't we already hear this part already? You were reiterating the fear bit quite a few times. So I think just before speaking, after receiving the topic, like I think I gave this tip already to someone. It's just to pause, take a breath, and really think about where you want to go. I think because maybe you weren't sure how you wanted to end it. That's why you went around in circles a couple of times. So really begin with an end in mind, and you wouldn't have this problem in the future, or at least you shouldn't have this problem in the future. So that's all from me. Phew, 14 speakers. Give yourself a big pat on the back because you guys made it. And I hope that whatever happened today, everyone learned a little bit of something. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Please, if you have anything, if you have any feedback or comment for me, please let me know. I'm learning as well. And I would love if you guys could give me anything to improve on for next time. Toastmaster is peer-to-peer feedback learning environment. And I think every kernel of advice is something that could be used to propel us to become better speakers in the future. That's all for me. I'll now pass the floor back to our host for the evening. So where is he? I'm trying to look for him on the screen.
Thank you.
There you
I'm
are,
here
Haryanto.
yeah. Okay, thank you very much for Toastmaster Catherine and Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. I believe everyone agrees with me. The table topic session was really fabulous, right? So with the, I believe that the table topic master never fails to conduct the table topic sessions with the great topics so everyone can enjoy the sessions. And second of all is that you could see our special speaker give a thorough evaluation for each speaker. and we can learn from the tips that he has given, and we can practice it and implement it in our table topics and how to handle the impromptu questions. That was a very great session, everyone. So, like any other meeting, I'm going to we're going to vote who is going to be a favorite table topic speaker. But before that, I'm going to call our timer, Natasha, to present the timer. Yes, Master Natasha, time is yours. You're muted.
Okay, so here's in the chat box, I've already sent the time. So congratulations, all of you are eligible to be voted as favorite table topic speakers. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, very great. I think that all the speakers are eligible to be voted. And then you can vote by the Zoom poll. I think that our ballot counter, our beloved President Tosmasa Afin. Okay, yeah, here we go. So everyone, you can vote who is going to be, who is your favorite table topic speaker. Then after that, don't forget to start. I think that there are two. One or two, this one? Or one? Okay, wait. Why cannot submit it? Oh, okay. Okay, we have two for your favorite table topic speaker, single choice and other choice. Okay, the others one. Okay. Okay, everyone, have you voted your favorite table topic speakers? I think that there are two. I don't know, maybe because you have to choose two. And then next, we're going to give the certificate of appreciations to thank for our special speaker for tonight's workshop. So I'd like to hand over to our beloved President Toastmaster Alvin Wijaya. For Toastmaster Alvin Wijaya, the floor is yours.
Thank you, our MC for tonight. So I would like to say thank you for our speaker, Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling, for bringing up the table topic workshop to all of the people. I hope everyone can get the benefit for tonight. So without like that, I would like to give you a token of appreciation. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Nirmala, would you mind to share screen? And Toastmaster Catherine, would you mind to help to take the picture with Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling? Thank you.
Okay, let me just find Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling first. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me check. All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now I would like to hand over back to our MC for tonight, Toastmaster Haryanto.
I think that thank you everyone for coming for tonight's workshop. And I believe that each of us can learn for the lesson that has been given by our speakers. And next, maybe I'm going to hand over to our president, Toastmaster Alvin Wijaya, because you're going to ask the guests how their comments for tonight's workshop. Toastmaster Alvin?
Thank you, Toastmaster Haryanto. Okay, I would like to I would like to call everyone to submit their feedback about the tonight meeting. So our Toastmaster Nirmala will share the link in the group chat. So you can fill in the link. Toastmaster Nirmala, would you mind to share the? All right. Toastmaster Nirmala has provided the feedback for this event. You may put what we can improve for the next future event. So I hope everyone can click the link and submit to us. We will wait in 3 minutes to all people to submit. Thank you. All right, I think the time is up. Next, we are going to proceed. Who is our favorite table topic master for tonight? So everyone, are you excited? If you are excited, please type 3 in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
All right, so without further ado, let us announce for the winner in our top 3 in our table topic session for tonight. It goes to To Chio Leong. Are you there?
To Chi Leong.
Are you there?
All right, I will take the picture.
Yes.
Okay, let me take the picture. Okay. 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right.
All right. And then for the top 2 winner, it goes to who? Catherine.
Yeah.
Okay, Kathleen. Let me see where Kathleen is. All right, Kathleen. Okay, congratulations. 3, 2, 1. Wait a minute. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And now for the winner for tonight, in our favorite table topic speaker, it goes to our Toastmaster Natasha.
Toastmaster Natasha. All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, congratulations.
Okay, congratulations for all the winners for tonight. Before I close this session, we have some announcement for our Polonia Toastmaster Instagram. So I would like to call our Vice President of Public Relations, Toastmaster Catherine, will announce for that. And
Hi,
time and screen is
everyone.
yours.
So we have to close the chapter of the old Instagram because of certain complications. So in the past, we had this functioning Instagram Polonia Toastmasters. So Polonia now is using polonia.tmc. Okay, so at polonia.tmc, please don't forget to keep to follow us. Okay, polonia.tmc, you will get a lot of updates. And thank you so much. Okay, don't forget to follow. On that note, you will see that there's a new post tonight that we have a debate program. Tomorrow, Polonia will be cooperating with Brunei. So we have a closed debate motion. Euthanasia should be legalized. It's something new. It's not a usual table topics. And the other one is open debate topic, which is cactus is more beautiful than the rose. Interesting. So I myself will be participating in the closed debate session with Herianto and Hanto. So if you want us to watch us and give us support, feel free to come tomorrow and it will be great. Okay, we will be debating about euthanasia. Just so you know, the timing will be at 6:30 Medan time. 6:30 Medan time.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Catherine, for the announcement for our new Instagram in our Polonia Toastmaster. I think this is the end of our session. Before that, I would like to thank to everyone who come for tonight's special education session that bring from our speaker for Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling. And also I will thank also to the speaker, such a great workshop he bring in our Polonia Toastmaster Club. And also I will announce that our last Polonia meeting will be held on 30 June and 2022. That is the last meeting in this term. So I hope everyone can enjoy our last meeting again in the next session. So I'm the club president and signing off for the tonight workshop, and see you and have a good rest. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.